enough. I don't fear nothing but the fate that's God's real or not. Well, fuck it, got the world in my hands, and that's real enough. Fuck it, got the world in my hands. Gold forms to touch. Might just spend it all one time to give it all to us. Yeah, give it all to us.
Yeah, this that hip-hop body rock, hardcore karate chop, neo-Nazi nasty, not feel it in my chest. How could you wear that name? Must be automatic shame. He's an automatic lame, heard it from the best. Fresh flow, let's go, plus I got a lot of heart. It's necessary when you dabble in this art. Grab canvas, paint picture, use them acrylics, paint a picture so vivid the people gotta feel it like the kava. Lyrics bear fruit like guava, words spilling out of my brain like lava. Spills out the top of a volcano, and they know that A-Right is not the one to play no. I'm Kano in Mortal Kombat, cause the lyrics like blades. Aim it at your jugular when I'm on stage. Until you heard me spit, homie, you ain't heard rage. On another chapter, so turn a turn. Okay, got that out my system. A-Right on another planet, dog, you must have missed them. When I do it, how I do it's of my own volition. Go make my destination even in the worst condition. My crew's the Blues Brothers, cause you know we on a mission. Eternity of roses I make bumping in your system. I mean, banging it, and I'm still hanging in it. I got a gang of wisdom, I got a gang of rhythms. I got a lot of soul, I found the pot of gold. I'm wrapping that shit up, gon' sell it to the globe. I got some game to give them, they don't really want, but they really need it. And I want you to succeed, I want you to be free. I want you to remove every obstacle from being what you truly wanna be. I truly wanna see, and I can only lead by example. So here's a sample from me, so get up.
He's the one drinking beer. I'm drinking water. 2 touchdowns a game?
Yes, in the game.
You're tripping.
How you high? No,
It is
high
Super Bowl time.
I don't know what we're doing in the front office, man.
Twiddling our fucking dick.
Ryan, I just need you to drink this.
Wide receiver trivia. That's what she said.
Upset.
Are those crutches?
You can see Ryan's crutches.
What is going on, folks? Welcome back to your favorite show on the internet. This is After Further Review, episode 147. I'm your co-host, Jalen Brown.
And I am your other wonderful co-host, channeling my inner Shaq here, but I'm Malin. The Shaq isn't here, because if he was, we'd need a bigger camera. We don't need the wide lens.
I'm your
right
other
now.
great co-host, Nestor, all the way from Sarasota, Florida.
Sarasota, the dumbass.
And
With his
I am G Money, the angry old man
who yells at everyone.
And that is our crew this week.
And he does it with a smile on his face.
Yes. We tried to have several guests on this week, folks. We won't mention any names, but
No, we can. Morgan, you little punk. With your punk ass. Where you at, Morgan?
we tried, folks. Just
And,
can't say we'd never tried to.
who was the other one? Dimwitty?
Junebug.
Junebug.
Dimwitty.
Junebug. He probably didn't want to come on the show because we knew we were going to talk about Diggs calling Dascott a bitch ass during practice. That's probably why he ain't on the show. He's probably trying to reconcile what's
Gotta
going
process
on.
everything that's
Just how bad Dak is.
yeah.
How bad
He
are
doesn't,
you when you're like the second highest paid quarterback in the NFL and you're getting benched in practice
Yeah, that cannot be
and then complaining about it on the sideline?
right.
I don't even know why they took me out. Well, you see, you threw it to the other side of the ball 3 times. That's why they took you out.
I love the Cowboys. They're such a good reality TV show.
Oh, it's so great.
Folks, if you are not aware, you can watch us live on YouTube every night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you just click the first link down in your podcast description, you'll be taken to the replay of this episode. Be sure to subscribe and drop a like, too, while you're at it. That way you'll be notified every time we go live. So, again, it's the first link down in your podcast description, Wednesday nights, 9:30 on YouTube. With that being said, we're going to get into the first topic of the week, and that is going to be our predictions for the NFC East. We're making our way throughout all the NFL divisions and giving breakdowns on each team and what the final record that they'll finish with. So last week we did the AFC East. This week we're, of course, doing the NFC East. We will start. I just wrote this down here. We will start with, I think, the Giants. Yes. G Money, how many games do you have the Giants winning, and how are they getting there?
I got them 7-10. I did that when I thought that Saquon was going to hold out and not play, but he signed that contract for an extra $100K. I'm still going to stick with 7-10. Big wins. Unfortunately, I have been beating my Seahawks. I think first few weeks we still won't have figured out how to stop the run, and they'll run on us. But that's really it. I mean, they don't have any seriously big wins. I mean, I haven't beaten the Cowboys. I don't see that as being a big win per se. They beat the Cardinals. They lose to the 49ers. The Dolphins, though, Jalen Ramsey's out for I don't know how long, so that might change. They lose to the Bills. They beat the Commanders, but just barely because the Commanders are worthless. Then they go on a losing streak. They lose to the Jets, the Raiders, the Cowboys again, and then they lose to the Commanders again. And then they finally beat the Patriots. Sorry about that, Jalen. And you got the bye week. They come back and beat the Packers, and then they basically lose the Saints, the Eagles, beat the Rams because the Rams are going to really stink this year, and they lose to the Eagles again. So that's how you get to 7-10 and be a mediocre team. Because
Well, 7-10 from G Money.
I didn't believe the angry old white guy thing until he started in on his soliloquy about all the other teams that they were playing. I was like, all right, maybe he is. He got a smile on his face, but he's angry about it.
Right. This playoff predictor is really touchy. It's like if you just barely touch one of these other matchups, you will accidentally set that off and then throw off your entire shit. So just be aware.
You got to be careful.
Yeah.
But it is good, though.
Yes, very useful. God bless whoever made this. Who is next here? Nestor.
Okay.
We're about to get another 18-week rundown.
So I feel like in preseason they're gonna. I'm just kidding.
He's like, they're gonna go 2-2 in preseason.
They're gonna go 4-0 in preseason and average 45 points a game.
I love
Their fans
Nestor
are
so
gonna-
much.
They're gonna lose.
Oh man, it's so sad that we lost into a third world country.
Anyway, I'll be back soon.
No, you won't.
From
Sarasota, though, right?
Right. Sarasota is
it's
also
just
a
a
third
1 hour
world country.
drive.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have them at 8 and 9.
8 and 9.
Trouble
Okay.
to get them there too.
He had to really
I don't
talk
know.
himself into it.
Week 12, they lose to the Patriots. Last week they lose to the Eagles. Like nothing special. They lose to my Dolphins. Week 5. About it.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mainland.
Yeah, I actually when I ran through it and then I saw how many wins I had them at, I was like, that can't possibly be accurate. But then when I broke it down, I was like, okay, maybe it is a little bit. I actually have them going 9 and 8. And when I run through the entire gamut of wins and losses, I have them going 7 and 2 against losing teams. So that means that I have 9 of the teams that they're playing are going to have losing records this year, and only 2 and 6 against winning teams. So
Okay.
when I look at it, they have a huge issue with the division. They are, like just as mediocre at 9 and 8 as you can get. You're stacking up wins because you're going to be getting wins against lesser quality teams. Any team that's going to pay Daniel Jones over $40 million a year and yet nickel and dime the shit out of Saquon Barkley, like he ain't the reason why you guys normally win.
Right.
It's like they had like a 80% winning percentage last year when Saquon had over 100 yards rushing. So, but whatever.
I love the Giants.
Just front management. What do you do? It's the NFC East. You gotta love just the
Yes.
talking points.
Right.
It's amazing. But yeah, so 9 and 8 is where I got them. I think that's run of the mill. Now they could end up, having 7 wins or whatever. But I think that they have a pretty mediocre schedule too, which is why they might be able to stack a couple together.
Yeah, I'm with G Money. I also have them at 7 and 10. I really don't have them beating any good teams. Really, the only notable wins in here. I do have them beating the Bills actually on the road in Week 6, and I think that will be their claim to fame. It's like, wow, we beat the Bills, and they will blow their load then, and then just be awful for the rest of the year. Well, at least not all. I mean, 7-10 is not terrible, but they're not making the playoffs clearly. So, yeah, I think the Giants had their Cinderella year last year, and just with all this drama with Saquon and Daniel Jones getting paid, it just kind of causes issues whenever you have that kind of like contract stuff going on with your best player being unhappy. And the Giants are just kind of always like one step forward, 2 steps back kind of a franchise. It's past like ever since Eli Manning stepped out.
I mean, ever since you've been alive.
Yeah, really.
Even when they won the Super Bowl against the Patriots, it was like, wait, that really happened? That was supposed to happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they got
Giants
some
is
cool
nowhere.
throwbacks this year.
They do.
I like the old school Giants helmets.
Yeah.
With the Giants on there.
Yeah,
Harking
they're
back to the Phil Simms days.
right. Good for them for that, but I don't like seven wins. So moving on to the Commanders. G Money, what do you have the Commanders doing?
Take a look. Let me get to the Commanders. I'd actually jump to Dallas, but
We can go Dallas next if you want.
Let's save
I'll do
Dallas for the
Commanders.
end.
Okay.
They're the bottom of the NFC East anyway. Yeah, 4-13. Not the part of. Okay, so major wins. I got them beating Philadelphia in Week 8. They always seem to, at least the last couple of years, pull off a win that you don't expect, a game that they should not win in any shape or form, just to give their fans hope they win it. And then you think, yeah, that's it. We're turning the corner. No, you're fucking not turning the corner.
Who is that one
really
team?
it. I mean,
The
that's
Eagles.
it's week 8. Otherwise, they start beating Arizona, right? Because everybody's going to beat Arizona. Arizona is going to stink this year. Arizona should be playing in the Big 12, not the NFC West.
You should be playing in the Pac-12.
The Pac-12 is not going to exist anymore. In fact,
Pac-9,
probably in the next
Pac-8.
8 weeks,
Oh,
it'll be the
hell's going on?
Pac-2.
It's going to be Washington State and Oregon State.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, they start off beating Arizona, and everybody they think, yeah, great, we're going to go somewhere. Then you just start reeling off losses. So they suck. Commanders,
Right.
you got a new owner, maybe next year, but definitely not this year.
Oh,
Wow.
I love it so much.
Nestor.
Yeah, I don't have anything special. 5 and 12. I have them at. Yeah, like I said, no notable wins. They're gonna lose against everybody we expect them to lose to, and have some. I have them beating the Falcons week 6, which I'm still a little iffy on.
Yeah, I'm
So it
beating
could
the
be
Falcons
4 and,
week 6.
13. What happened?
Yeah, I'm beating the Falcons in week 6.
But I'll go down the run like week 1. Okay, so week 1.
Oh, jeez. I didn't mean to do
Cardinals.
that, audience.
He said, let me go
Week
ahead and
2.
unpack this.
I apologize.
Go ahead, Malin.
I have them going 5 and 12 as well. Again, they're 1 in 10 against teams with a winning record. This year is what I have, and 4 and 2 against teams with losing records. I agree with G Monday. They're going to come out swinging, and they're going to beat Arizona week 1, and then after that, oddly enough, I agree with Nestor that they're going to get their second win in week 6. After that, it's pretty bad. Now, I do have Washington beating Miami, in week 13 because I don't think Tua is going to be playing then. And I have them beating the Rams because Cooper Kupp is already hurt. And outside of that, the what? Oh, the Great White Hype.
Mike.
They got the Great White Hype over there. They got that little. They're gonna go from Edward Scissorhands to the Great White Hype. I love it. But no, I mean 5 wins is as good as you can get, and I love that we're gonna be able to talk about the team a little bit more. But some of the social media stuff you posted,
Yes.
hot seats.
Yes. My bad. You said 5. You also said 5 wins.
Yep,
Okay.
5 wins.
I am very optimistic with Washington.
Really?
I have them going 10 and 7.
Damn.
I see a lot of winnable games for them.
Can we go through these real quick?
Yes. Let me just say, I think Eric Bieniemy is going to work some magic there.
Okay. With
Sam Howell,
Howell,
the new kid on the block.
Sam Howell.
Jalen, do I need to add Terry McLaurin to my team on fantasy?
I think you might, Nestor.
Is that what you're saying?
Whatever. We're not giving him no goddamn fantasy. I ain't getting no fantasy updates.
got him beating the Cardinals. I actually have them upsetting the Bills.
Wow. Okay.
Got them beating the Bears, the Falcons, the Giants in week 7.
Yep.
Then I say they beat the Eagles in week 8 at home.
Okay.
The next win comes week 11 against the Giants.
Oh, they don't. They don't beat the Patriots,
No, 9 and 10. They're losing both of those games.
but they beat the Eagles.
Yeah, they'll split. They'll split
Okay.
against the Eagles.
Okay.
I'm being realistic here.
Realistic. Them beating the Eagles, but losing to the Patriots.
Yes.
Realistic. Wait, week 10. What do you have?
9 and 10. They're losing both weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, they get a little bit of slump there.
You redeemed yourself.
Yeah, they'll beat the Giants at home. They'll lose to the Cowboys. They'll beat the Dolphins at home. They'll beat the Rams. Lose to the Jets. Lose to San Francisco, and then beat the Cowboys.
Okay. You do realize that if he picks up McLaurin at wide receiver, they're going to win 3 games.
Because Terry McLaurin will go blind or something.
He will do something. He'll go to a tanning salon and not put the little goggles on or something. Don't know why I need to do it. He's black anyways, but
Just because Nestor picked him, he's like, I think I need a tan, actually.
someone convinced him to spray tan, get that shit and spray it in his eyes too. It's just, something bad will happen if he picks him.
Washington fans, you better pray that Nestor's not picking.
That's great because Nestor doesn't normally have terrible rosters in fantasy football. He just dooms whatever player he picks,
Right.
and they end up being terrible.
Just god awful.
Yeah, that's true.
And somehow, whenever Shaq has an auto pick,
Right. It's like God.
the first
Man,
auto draft I've seen makes sense.
Don't make me pick. Who is it?
You don't even know his
DK
name. Shut up.
Metcalf, Lockett, Gino. My whole roster.
Oh, Seahawks. They go 0-17. They all get injured, not even in week 1, but coming out of the stadium on week 1, out of the gate, they fall and break their ankles.
At this point, they're like
we're
the
putting
team
people out of the
plane would
stands to
crash.
play.
Just falls out the sky.
Like we on our road to San Fran, or no, to LA week 1, plane crash. We are Marshall. If that happens, I'm going to hell.
Let's move on to the Philadelphia Eagles before we curse somebody even further.
Past.
G-Money, what do you have the Eagles doing?
The Eagles? I got the Eagles 13-4. They come out of the gate on fire. They win their first 7 games. Of course, quite frankly, they're not really playing anybody in the first 7 games.
That's insulting.
But they're going to win all of them. And then, as I said before, the Commanders, week 8 is where they get upset by the Commanders because they get too cocky, like they did last year. Too cocky, thinking that, hey, the Commanders aren't shit. We'll beat them. And they don't come with their A game, and the Commanders do. And then, I got them beating Dallas. And then after the bye week, they only go 5-3 because they lose to the Chiefs at Kansas City, where once again they can whine and cry about the turf and how bad the turf is and how they weren't prepared and it's this Kansas City's fault and whatever other little pissy ant crying they want to do about how they couldn't beat the Chiefs. I got them beating the Bills at home and then losing to the 49ers, beating the Cowboys in Dallas, and then losing to my Seahawks in Seattle because once again they'll want to cry about the turf because it's all about the turf. It's like not their inability to play. And then they win out the last 3 games because they're playing the Giants and the Cardinals. And you put those 2 teams together and maybe you've got a halfway decent team.
Boise State.
Maybe. Boise State light.
She likes cracking you.
So yeah, 13-4.
Nestor,
and
go
winning
ahead.
games, obviously.
Go ahead, Nestor.
I see them going 12-5. Week 2, they lose to the Vikings because we all know the Vikings love to hype up their fans just to collapse later on. So
Good
I
point.
see that week 2, they're winning. After that, week 15, I do see them losing to the Seahawks. And yeah,
Wow.
that's about it.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead, Malin.
Okay. I'm looking at your thing over there, and you got the Seahawks beating them too. I feel like
Yes.
a bitch because I actually had the Eagles beating the Seahawks. That's my team. Okay, so I have them going 13-4. Okay, they're gonna go 7-0 against teams with losing records.
Okay.
6-4 with teams with winning records. But you think it's crazy that that G Money said that they're gonna go like 6 or 7 in a row. I got them going 9-0.
Sheesh.
I got them ripping off. I mean, look at the teams they're playing. They're playing your team, Minnesota, the Bucks, Washington, LA, the Jets, Miami, Washington again, and the Cowboys. The only team that could be a little bit of a sleeper maybe week 6 is we don't really know what the Jets are going to be. But I think they're favored in every game the first 9 weeks. I do have them losing to Kansas City, to the Bills after the bye. I think being 9-0, then hitting the bye, and then back-to-back, you're going Kansas City and Buffalo.
Yeah.
I think you could lose a little bit of that mojo. I do have them beating San Francisco because San Francisco is going to be on a short rest after that game, and they're going to be on an extended rest. And I have the Cowboys beating them 1 week out of the whole season. But like G Money, I got them taking care of the Giants and in Arizona. But I do have them beating the Seahawks just because I think there will be a little bit of a get right game. And I think that Seattle, for being as great as they've been in December for maybe like the first 10 years of Pete Carroll being the head coach, they've kind of slipped up a little bit after Thanksgiving. And they've been splitting December when they should be winning out in December. So I think they'll drop a game. And I think that Philly's the toughest matchup they're going to have in December. So I have them losing that one. But the same record is G Money at 13-4, the number 1 seed in the NFC. It's kind of hard not to have them that when they went on that tear last year. And again, everyone's healthy. And I like the fact they're bringing back them Kelly Greens. The ones that we were wanting them to bring back.
Gotcha. So I have got them going 11-6. Yeah, 11-6. They're going to be very good. They'll win the division. However, I don't think last year they had the easiest schedule in the NFL. And they're still very good, but I think it's going to get tougher for them. They're going to have a little bit of that Super Bowl loser hangover, and I don't know what it is, but it seems like the NFC teams after the Super Bowl in the past few years, they just seem to fall off of a cliff. And the Eagles, I think, are not going to be as bad as, say, like Tampa or LA, but they're not going to have as much success as they have these past few years. I do also have them winning the first 5 games, and then I think they'll lose to the Jets in week 6.
I mean, their strength of schedule is still under 500.
Yeah, for the first half of the year. But then getting San Francisco, Kansas City, Buffalo, Seattle, it starts to toughen up a bit in the second half compared to last year where they were playing,
So you're high on San Fran?
Yeah. I think they'll be very good again. Yeah, so I've got them winning 11 games. They'll still win the division and still be a Super Bowl contender once again. But I don't think they'll look quite as nice as they did last year. Yeah. So we'll move on to the Cowboys.
Oh, I love this team.
Yes.
Oh, these people.
G Money, what do you have the Cowboys doing?
The Cowboys being the Cowboys, looking really good in the regular seasons, just so they can suck it up in the playoffs and getting their fans all hyped up. Yeah, this is it. Boys are going to the Super Bowl.
We
boys
them
are going to win the
boys.
Super Bowl. Yeah, get them boys. Love them boys. But they're going to go 11-6. Notable wins. I have them beating the Chargers in week 6. And I had them beating my Seahawks in week 13.
Ouch.
Other than that, most of the teams are they had losing records last year. I mean, so I'm just, so we're not quite sure what we're going to get out of the Jets. And regardless of what Dak does or doesn't do, and if they sign Tony Pollard, or if he's you know, whatever happens there at running back, their defense is pretty damn solid.
You said 11-6.
11-6.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, Nestor.
I have him at 10-7. I'm a little iffy on week 11 against the Panthers. Because you guys know I'm bullish on the Panthers. So apart from that, yeah, I have them winning week 6 against the Chargers too. And I have them losing to my Dolphins week 16.
Of course. It's only right. Malin.
I mean, just like I feel like G Money and I have been lockstep on a bunch of these predictions since I've been back from vacation. Like 3 out of 4 teams each division, I kind of feel like we're just nailing like the same one. So I got them going 11-6.
Gotcha.
And a lot of what G Money talks about, because with the way I picked out the entire year, okay, they're going 6-0 against teams with losing records, but only 5-6 against teams with winning records, and 3-5 against playoff teams. So they're gonna rack up some wins against teams that are not performing as well as maybe they should have going into the season, because their strength of schedule is still 53%. Winning over last year. But I think a lot of these teams are going to fall off. I don't think the Giants are going to be as good. I'm sorry, I don't think the Patriots are going to be very, very good.
It's only right.
You look at the Bills are going to lose a little bit more. I don't think that Miami's going to be as good as they were. The strength of schedule doesn't really play that much into it, but when I look at the way I picked all the games out, I mean, I got them starting off 4-2 before they hit the bye, and then after that they just trade wins, win one, lose one, win one, lose one for like 5 weeks, and then they go on a little bit of run for 3 out of 4 from 15 to 18. I think the only team I have them losing to is Detroit in week 17, because I'm a little bit bullish on Detroit this year. I think Detroit's actually going to really show up.
Yeah.
So 11-6 and nothing in the playoffs.
I am kind of surprised with you guys that you are pretty much all giving them double-digit wins. I am giving them 7 wins this year. I think they're going to be dog shit.
Yeah.
Because the Cowboys, this is what they do. They are a very hot and cold every other year team. So they made the playoffs last year. They were pretty good. This year, just by default, they're going to be awful. I think they're going to seriously miss Kellen Moore. They are really hitching their wagon to Tony Pollard. So they better hope he stays healthy and they get all of that contract stuff figured out. And they still have Dak Prescott. And he's going to throw the ball to the other team more times than his own team. And I think they're just going to be in a world of hurt this year. It's a down year for the Cowboys. So notable losses, I think they are going to lose. They're going to lose to my Patriots. I'm sorry. I think they're going to also lose to the Commanders. I think I got them losing both times. Actually, no, they'll split Commanders.
I normally would agree with you that they're very hot and cold, but they've been 12-5 the last 2 years.
Really?
And that defense is solid, and that's with Dak missing time last year and coming back early from that injury.
I'm thinking of the year before.
Well, in 2020 they were 6-10,
right?
And in 2019 they were 8-8, but then they were 10-6, 9-7, 13-3 back in 2016. But since 2016, they've been 4 out of the last 7 years. They've at least been over double-digit wins, and they've only been under 8 wins one time. And there's actually talk that Zeke might actually come back to the Cowboys. I don't know if you guys have heard about that.
Yes.
Those news that all of a sudden he's going to be the backup to Pollard. I don't know how that dynamic is going to work out.
Those Cowboys.
Maybe Dow's going to bring back the Salvation Army bucket. Remember that man going to be eating some soup out of it?
Signed Pollard though. I mean,
Yeah, because he hasn't even signed the
Right.
franchise tag because they franchised him, right?
Right.
Yeah. So maybe they're gonna bring Zeke back. I just don't know, like the running back room. I didn't really play. I'm just thinking like the running back room's a small room. You got like 3, maybe 4 people, 2 of them mainly playing special teams.
Yeah.
And for his entire career, he was the top dog in that running back room.
Mm-hmm.
And then you probably got assigned seating. And so then, like, he signs for the league minimum, and he comes in, and Paul's sitting in his chair, and I'll be like, you son of a bitch. I will eat the cereal out of your ass, you motherfucker. Like, you better move.
That would be just so odd for them to be like, bye, and then kind of like, all right, we kind of maybe might want you
But I don't
back.
know. I'm just saying that 12-5 the last 2 years is not bad. So you're saying a 5-game drop-off
Oh,
with
yeah.
no major injuries.
Right, just as currently constructed.
And all they've done is lost the liability of Zeke.
And Kellen Moore. Because I have no
Yeah, he
idea
was a
who their
liability,
new
too.
offensive
McCarthy.
coordinator is.
McCarthy's calling the plays,
Oh,
which is, better than Moore.
really?
I think so.
Wow.
You don't think so?
I will take Kellen Moore. Mike McCarthy can't even manage the clock.
No, are we talking about Nathaniel Hackett or are we talking about Mike McCarthy? Because Nathaniel Hackett can't manage the clock.
Both of them can't.
Sean
manage
Payton
the
talked about that at length.
Yeah, well, he talked
Yes,
about
he
a lot of it. He held nothing back.
That man said, fuck the quorum. we just thought out. And it's the only time I've ever loved anything that Aaron Rodgers has ever said in an interview. When Aaron Rodgers says, keep my coach's name out your mouth, that's like some Kevin Hart shit. That's like, Kevin, keep my coach's name out your mouth, bitch.
Do they play each other this year, the Broncos and the Jets?
They play each other week 5.
Oh, boy.
And it's the first week that it can be flexed to Sunday Night Football.
They're actually looking at flexing.
But currently, Sunday Night Football is Cowboys and Niners. So one of those teams would have to fall off dramatically.
I see. Yeah.
But the drama, the spectacle
man.
of Hackett calling plays with Aaron Rodgers and Sean Payton calling plays with Russell Wilson.
Oh, man.
With a midget ass over there. His wife is 3 feet taller than him. The face at gap. Want to know why she's the face at gap? Because there's like a 4-foot gap between her height and his height. That's why she's the face at gap. So yeah, they
Come on, NFL, make it happen.
Russell Wilson named his kid win, and all it does is lose afterwards. I mean, shit. Just it's poetic. It needs to happen. Just please, Lord, and put him in those throwbacks.
Oh, yeah, all
Put
around.
the Jets in the throwback.
Yeah.
Put the Broncos in the
Those white
whatever
helmets.
the fuck they call them,
snow
snow cap helmet. Shut the fuck up. What are we doing?
Yeah,
Little
yeah.
dumbasses.
All right.
Week
NFC
5,
East.
let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be
I
beautiful.
don't know how we ended up with the Broncos Jets matchup. From the Cowboys,
I don't know. We
but-
started talking about Mike McCarthy, and you said mismanaged the clock.
Yeah. And then
Ain't no one got rolled over like Hackett with mismanaging the clock. Somehow he came out looking like the good guy too.
Right. Out of all that, everybody forgot about him.
Like everybody roasted his ass like a marshmallow that went from white to black quicker than in the history of any campfire. And then now all of a sudden we're like, don't be mean to that man.
Right. Now it's all Russ.
It's like Denver fans couldn't be done with him soon enough. It was like after like game 4, they were like, fire his ass, get him out of here.
The media went after him so hard. Then all of a sudden Sean Payton says, and they're like, stop being mean, man. when you got Joey Taylor on your side, come on. We're not really talking about sports.
Speaking of Taylor, that's a great little segue there.
There you go.
There we
Didn't
go.
even mean to do it.
News.
Today's top stories and breaking news.
A lot of kind of unfortunate news this week, but start a training camp. That's what happens. First of all, Jonathan Taylor getting into some drama with the Colts front office is requesting a trade from the team after not receiving his contract extension. What do you guys think about this? We are going to revisit this in community comments, but just right off the bat, some back and forth, some subtweeting going on. Gotta love the passive aggressiveness.
Two things. You saw how the organization treated Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck.
Yep.
Why would you want to play for that franchise?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's the first thing. Second, I don't think it's a coincidence that the Colts came out with them broke ass looking jerseys with a black helmet and the blue stripes try to look like Texas A&M. And John Taylor like, nah, man, y'all ain't paying me franchise tag to wear that shit 2 weeks. That's not happening. But I mean, they're gonna get the brakes beaten off of them, man. Come on.
The Colts are one of those teams. You just summed it up. Like, if you see how they treated Peyton Manning's exit and then Andrew Luck, Jesus, why would you even bother at this point? We'll talk about this a bit later, but
then they hyped up Phillip Rivers and
Matt Ryan last year.
You got a couple white grandpas
right
back there.
Phillip Rivers has like a dozen kids now. Like, come on, man, what did you think was going to happen? But
like he's close to the league lead in touches the last 3 years, and it's true. What I forget who said it. It might have been Josh Jacobs said it, that the running back position is the only position of football to where your monetary value is hurt based on your production. The greater production you have, the less monetary value you can make later on because they deem you as damaged goods.
Right.
So like all you can do is keep running my ass.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, listen, if Saquon Barkley can get $900,000 more and they're past the point to where you can't do more than a 1 year deal.
Mm.
They can, I mean, kick him $14 million.
Right.
Do something. Ain't they giving some incentives, but I mean, the Colts you just drafted a quarterback from Florida.
Exactly.
In the first round. You're going to put him out the slaughter if you do not have Jonathan Taylor carrying the rock the beginning of that year.
Yeah. Like,
he'll get murdered.
Look what happened to Andrew Luck, and he didn't have any Jonathan Taylor. I can't even really name anybody that was on that offense. T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y. Hilton was on it. That was it.
Right.
Joseph Adai still running for them at that point?
I doubt it. He wasn't very good when he was running with Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl.
That's crazy.
That was Joseph Adai. Bringing the history. Kind of felt like we last saw him play in '87.
The Colts are just incompetent. Like, I don't know how they botch this type of stuff, but
whoa, Irsay's running crack off a hooker's ass.
Yeah, that'll do it to you.
Doing lines off of cheeks.
Yeah, see, so Jim Irsay came out and said, if I die tonight and Jonathan Taylor is out of the league, no one's going to miss us. The league goes on. We know that. The NFL rolls on. It doesn't matter who leaves and goes. The league continues. Now, granted, he said that at 3 a.m. after doing like 10 lines of coke off a stripper's ass, but he's right. He really is. And Jonathan Taylor can ask for a trade, but he's not going to get the money he's looking for. And that's one of, actually, when we get into our what's up with that things, I'm going to go into that a little more detail.
Okay.
As to the running back situation.
Foreshadowing.
Tease.
Yeah. Leave a little to be desired there. You got to love it. Nestor.
I just wonder what team he's going to go to. I hope he leaves. I was actually looking at potential candidates.
He's like, come to the Dolphins.
And the Patriots were one of them.
I'm so tired of hearing this. Stop it.
Y'all just had Zeke in the building.
Exactly.
How many running backs you want to get tied to?
We don't sign anybody. Are you talented? All right, get out of here.
In 2 weeks, they're going to be like the Patriots, but the
These
Patriots probably
three.
going to sign him.
That'll be the end result. Khalif Brown.
You know who fucked it up for these running backs though?
Who's that?
Le'Veon Bell.
That's a very good point.
Because he held out the entire year, came back, went to the Jets,
Right. Pulled his little stint.
and sucked ass about as much as Ursay sucking coke off a stripper's ass. Just was never the same.
Yeah.
And so now they look at it like, well, we've seen what happens.
Right.
When you
Right.
take off a whole year, we're going to go ahead and call your bluff. You really want the Le'Veon Bell
Right. You can't.
treatment? Because the NFL is not going to be kind to you.
Yeah. You can't threaten that anymore.
Yeah.
At all.
It's why they all had that little powwow. And they're like, yeah, we're getting fucked.
Right.
But it is what it is. No, we can do about it.
Speaking of contracts, Aaron Rodgers confessed his love for the New York Jets organization and decided to take less money, extended his deal by 2 years, and gave back $35 million. Aaron Rodgers is saying, "I'm in it for the long haul," and you know what? I like this Aaron Rodgers. What do you guys think?
Well,
Good man.
that is like the
Aaron
biggest
Rodgers is
middle
hot.
finger to the Green Bay Packers.
I mean, first, if he extended his contract 2 years, probably didn't give back that $35 million. It was probably just extended out.
It kicked it down.
Whether or not he plays those years is another
He-
issue.
But he
I-
had
I
a 2-year
don't think he
contract.
gave money back and said, no. You guys, we'll make
He
this team better. I mean, giving that money back and not having to worry about it.
he actually
I
gave the money back though. He was
I
owed.
don't know.
He
I mean,
he
that's what
was
he's saying. That's
no.
what the Jets
Well,
is
he
saying.
was owed
But
$105 million.
Yes,
in
but
the-
what,
in the
has
2
anybody
years.
actually seen the contract?
And well, he was going to
No
get
one's seen the contract.
he was going
So
to
the
get
Jets can say what they want,
he
and he can say what he wants. But
and-
until you actually see the contract, it doesn't mean that he actually gave that money back.
Well-
because at one point he was going to give the money back, but he was going to get a percentage of ownership in the team, and the NFL had already nixed that.
yeah. All I know is
So-
that he was
so-
getting he was going to get $105 million over 2 years, and now he's getting $70 million over 2 years. And
But if
he
he's
freed up
extended
a
his
ton of
contract 2 more years, then that's where the other $35 million goes.
but the
at some point,
totality
it
of the
can be
contract
converted
is
into a
still only
signing
$70,
bonus.
$75 million. Like the totality of the contract is $70 to $75 million. It's not over $100 million anymore. So it's not kicked back like Drew Brees. The thing
Well,
that
that's what we say, but we haven't. Has anybody actually laid eyes on the contract?
okay, but that's what's all we can go off of is what's been reported. Is it went from 105 million to 70 million. So unless someone shows something different, then yeah, that's what happened. And you know, people are pretty accurate with contracts that they put out and everything else. So I don't have any reason to believe that they're lying.
You know, it's funny you say that, but it's Aaron Rodgers. That's the only reason. I was like,
it is Aaron Rodgers. I get that, but you know that. Listen, the only person that's more of a diva than Aaron Rodgers was Brett Favre, and I got through the whole Brett Favre saga.
Right.
But I think this is a more of a middle finger to Green Bay
Yeah.
because he took every penny he ever could
Yeah. And it was always kind of like
from Green Bay. It was like, build the team around me, bitch.
Right.
Give me my coin. And now he's with the Jets, and like, I don't know, going to some Back to the Future musical, Love in Jersey, and is like, you guys can have some money back. Keep some talent around me.
Yeah.
And, you know, it coincides with them trying to get another running back because, like, all of a sudden his contract's restructured, and all of a sudden, like, Dalvin Cook's around there.
Yeah.
So I just think it's funny. Like, I don't know what it is about Aaron Rodgers being out of Green Bay, but it's kind of like, and I hate to put the comparison because I'm not saying the Jets are winning the Super Bowl, but it's kind of like when Tom Brady left New England and went to Tampa, and all of a sudden he seemed cool.
Right.
Like all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers goes to New York and he seems less like a pretentious ass.
Right. And I'm like, yeah, you guys are pretty likable.
And he seems, I mean, he looks more homeless. He looks thinner. I don't know if he's been hanging out with Irsay. I don't know if Irsay's up in the New York offices. But there's a lot more gray, and he looks really thin in that jersey. That concerns me a little bit. But he seems more fun.
He does.
When he's doing the interview, he seems less hostile.
Right.
Right, doesn't he?
Yeah, that'll change.
Well, I mean, as they probably don't win as many games.
That's like game 3 when they start when the New York media really starts questioning him. Like, well, why did you throw it there? Well, why did you not see that Garrett was open? Did you not see that? Did you not see that your running back was open? You're supposed to be an all-pro. Why didn't you see this? What's your problem? He's not going to deal well with that because he didn't get those questions in Green Bay. Green Bay loved him, the fan base, and the reporters loved him. He didn't get that. When he goes, he has not faced the New York media after he's lost a couple of games because he's thrown interceptions. When he does, he's going to go like, fuck this. That 2-year extension? Oh, fuck no.
Well,
it's going to be weird if they don't lose those games we think they're going to.
Yeah, that's going to be. Please don't have that happen.
Let them start ripping off their wins. God.
Let's.
That'll be such a great story.
For time's sake, let's keep it moving along here. So Joe Burrow, he suffered a calf strain in training camp on, I think, like day 1. So the Bengals are uncertain if he's going to start week 1. I guess it's just kind of like a wait and see type thing until whenever he's ready to get back. But yeah, you guys think? I mean, do you think that he'll be back come week 1, or do you think they'll have to go a bit of time without their starting quarterback? Nestor, we'll start with you.
Didn't something similar happen last year?
Yes, he had.
He's missed a lot of time in camp, like 3 out of the.
I don't know if it was an injury, if he like came down with a sickness or something.
He had like an appendectomy.
Yeah,
and then the year before that, he was coming back from the ACL injury still.
Yeah.
So he's not familiar with camp.
Right.
Like the poster boy of why you don't roll a white boy out from the pocket in first day camp.
Yeah.
What we doing?
Crazy.
Act like we're athletic.
I think we'll be back maybe week 2, week 3. I don't think it'll take long to get back.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I mean,
and supposedly we're getting good news from the Bengals when it comes to that. Like he's doing better, so I think he'll be back soon.
If you were to miss week 1 when they play the Browns, I think they still would probably be favored, or it'd be like a pick'em game.
Mm-hmm.
It is in Cleveland, but we don't know like what Deshaun Watson is going to be like. We don't know how well he's going to recover after a full year of being with a team or whatever. But I mean, you definitely want him back for week 2 when they start playing, Baltimore. You don't want to.
Yeah.
You don't want to go 2 division games, and especially with the only other team in the division that could give you a run for your money.
Mm-hmm.
It looked more serious
than
it looked like an Achilles to me. The way that he kind of pulled up, because nobody touched him.
Right.
But apparently he had a little bit of soreness in his calf before practice, and they still rolled him out there. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" So I mean, I don't think we'll see him in preseason at all.
Yeah.
He's done.
Mm-hmm.
But I, if I would have to put money on it, if I'm in Vegas right now, I'm probably putting money on the fact that he's going to be there week 1, but by the latest, I would say week 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've never seen somebody as happy as my neighbor when he was a big Kansas City Chiefs fan.
What a bitch.
When I was like, did you hear that Joe Burrow is going to be out indefinitely or for a little while? And he was like jumping for joy.
I've never known a fan base to be so scared of other teams. Like when they're like the top dog in the NFL.
Right.
Like, Chiefs fans are so insecure. Even though they got the best quarterback and the best coach in the NFL.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my, man, come on.
It's like, why are you scared?
Yeah.
You're still the Chiefs. They're about to name the AFC Championship game
Right.
the Lamar Hunt Championship game because it pretty much is in Kansas City every year anyways.
Yeah.
What do we do? What a
But moving on to the next one. So Jalen Ramsey is going to miss several months after injuring his left meniscus in training camp. Already, apparently, he had his surgery on Friday, I think, and he's saying, you know, I'll be back sooner rather than later, basically.
Tyreek Hill broke him.
Right. But the Dolphins did bring in Eli Apple to fill his spot in the meantime.
Yeah,
So, Nestor.
Come on, Nestor. Tell us about it. Tell us the feelings.
No, this won't be my first grief on the what is it? What's up with that?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he did say that. He was like, all of a sudden the streak ends. There's a few things.
I refuse to be pessimistic about this. Tua's gonna have a great season. I'm not worried. We should have him back in December. What we're hearing from the Dolphins is he's doing better, good progress.
He's trying so hard.
I hope what's his name? Xavier Howard and
Eli.
no, not Eli Apple. Anybody but Eli Apple, Cater, Kohu, whatever his name is. I hope they have a hell of a season because we're gonna need it. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It was also Cook visiting the Jets that put him over the edge.
Oh, yeah.
That
That
was
was around the
grievances
same time.
because when I
Yeah.
did it, he thought that I was talking about the Giants, and then when I said the Jets, he was like, "God, son of a!" He went straight to the Giants, even though they had just signed Saquon Barkley. That's how much his mind was not going to let him go there. That it could be the Jets. He went straight to the Giants, and he was so mad.
Piece of shit.
That was a rough
I hope
day
that
for
team
Nestor.
crumbles.
And
With injuries.
Nestor had a rough few hours.
You know that every single AFC East team is hoping that they start Eli Toasted Apple as their cornerback.
It's like
His
caramel apple at
receivers
this
are
point.
going like, oh yeah, 150 yards, 3 touchdowns. Just throw me the ball. I'll be open all the time.
God, Eli
Man
Apple.
is no
I've got
more
a-
for his
Yeah.
Twitter rants than
I've got an interesting. I'll
Defense.
tell you guys something about Eli Apple after we go to break. Anyway, yeah, I think that's. Oh, sorry, Cooper Kupp. He also
yes.
got messed up
Kupp.
today. What did he hurt again?
Pull
Bailey?
that hammy.
Oh man, come on.
They might say a strain, but when they say it's a strain, it's probably a pull.
Mm.
And I don't know if you guys can name any of the other wide receivers currently on the Rams, but I can't.
They don't have Robert Woods anymore, do they?
Nope. And you got noodle arm Stafford, who lets people just fall off stages and walks away drinking a beer. He don't give a shit about nobody. You know.
They still have Van Jefferson, but after that,
Let's
I
go,
have no
Van.
effing clue who their wide receivers
You might
are.
have Khalif.
You know,
Yeah, he might be there too.
Thank God. I was trying to look it up earlier.
Man,
E-
I love
ESPN
me some
wouldn't
Cooper Kupp. That's unfortunate.
wouldn't pull it up. Yeah, but I mean, this is what the second year in a row.
Yeah, because he got messed
Yeah.
up like halfway through last
Yeah.
year.
This is
yeah, and he got injured.
it's 2 years in a row we started to hit that injury bug.
Yeah, it's really really sad.
I mean, I like him because he's from Eastern Washington.
Eastern Washington.
I hate him that he's on the Rams.
Right.
Because he's been tearing the Seahawks up since he came into the league.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah, he
the
has.
first time they played in
Yeah.
LA. I think it was like week 3 back in 2018 or something like that. 2017, 2018, whatever.
Mhm.
And he just torched the hell out of the Seahawks in that game. I was like, who the hell is this?
Yeah.
I was like, my eyes are not deceiving me. Like, you're white. And Steve Largent retired a hell of a long time ago. Welker's out. Julian Edelman is still in New England. Who is this?
He can move, man. Oh my goodness.
Talk about a route runner.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Be hard pressed to find someone better than him.
So, needless to say, I'm not sad he's hurt because we play him week 1.
Gotcha.
So he can sit his ass down.
That's
in
right.
Week 1.
We can defend against Van Jefferson and
right.
the Fab Four.
Yeah, the founding fathers. I don't give a shit.
Whoever else they want to.
You keep your Logan Paul looking mother ass down. Pull that other goddamn hammy.
Well,
if he does come out week 1, I hope we light his ass up like Nate Diaz is about to light up Paul on Saturday. You don't fuck with the wrong guy. Nate Diaz is him. He is.
It should be interesting. It should be interesting. But
God, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that will do it for the first half of this week's show. When we come back, we are hitting some comments, and then we'll round it out with our What's Up With That, where Nestor will have something that he is heated with.
That was a really sad noise. Like he queefed or something.
We will be back in about 10 minutes.
Hey. Yeah. Hey. On my way to the boat like I ain't just had on the coat when I landed. Outran it. Perched at the edge of the branches. They don't wanna talk mansions. Mine look like a campus. And I'm all about my brothers like the niggas I'm sampling. I'll leave you red shirted like the twins from Kansas. Really living my dreams I used to have in my aunt's crib.
This is the first time the Heat have made the finals since LeBron left.
Jesus Christ.
What
the fuck?
Nobody wants to guess.
Is it Kyle Lowry?
Kyle Lowry's number
Do I get the point?
Yeah, I'll give you the point.
I guess 2 of them. Do I not get points for that shit too? Can I just make a complaint?
How many times have these two teams played each other in the regular season?
Once.
Is incorrect.
No.
Three.
Twice.
You already guessed.
Shaq, what was your guess? 3. That is incorrect.
Twice.
2.
G Money, any guesses?
I already said it.
We don't know if that's correct.
Well, I mean,
It is correct.
G Money, try 5.
Why this man had the most amount of points to complain about?
How is it taking that fucking long?
You missed the first question because you answered too fast. Not thinking.
He's stupid.
that's pretty hurtful.
First of all, this is the last time we're ever doing trivia. I don't give a damn what happens.
Hey. Yeah. Trendsetter, band frame getter. With whatever. I buy diamonds when I'm under pressure. When I apply, shit don't ever let up. Yeah. Look, I'm in the cut, the boy in the cut. Jump in the whip with a ceiling go up, we up. All of this grinding for what? It's funny when you niggas thought it was luck.
So who is that? All right, these Lance Spider Mitchell. You gotta put on the top. That's somebody good. Ooh, Steph Curry. Okay. Ooh, that feels bad. There's Darren Fox. Thank you.
Damn. Is that gonna fall the moment he gets it out?
Oh my god.
How am I supposed to even turn this now?
By the way, the person who knocks it over, your lineup doesn't even count.
He took Zion. Listen, that's the best I can do, people.
Can't be alright. Jared Allen, you're coming home with me, friend.
Can you stack it?
Mr. IG Live himself.
Oh, the shooter.
Oh, Jesus.
That was harder than the Bulls fought to get Zach LaVine.
Did you know AFR is also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts? Click the first link in the description below to listen to the most recent episode of the show.
If Miami can maintain their momentum and find a way to beat the Bucks in this series, you will be seeing us in the final. There's no question, ifs, ands, or buts about it, so be prepared to see us.
And the Miami Heat become the 6th in NBA history to win as an 8th seed in the first round.
Game one.
Wants his ring, and he's gonna get it, and he's like, fuck him. He's gotta play lights out. He's gonna come out there and play lights out. Butler's gonna put the whole load on his shoulders, and I say he wins game one. Great momentum. That's how you start a series.
All 3 of the previous series, they were the underdog. All 3 of those series, they won game 1. Denver's 9-0 at home in the playoffs. They take game 1. Game 3 of the NBA Finals. The Denver Nuggets win their 4th straight road game in these playoffs and regain home court advantage. Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Denver Nuggets are 1 win away from their first ever NBA title. Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Murray falling away. Rebound, Brown banks it home. Bruce Brown puts the Nuggets back up by 1. Jimmy Butler on the drive, gets inside, stops. Stolen by Caldwell Pope. And a foul. 2 clutch free throws from Contavious Caldwell Pope. It's over. At last, the long wait is over. After 47 years, the Denver Nuggets can finally call themselves NBA champions.
Yeah. Still waiting, wanting got to keep me on chill. Don't you miss me, I'll kick it with my new bitch, I still.
Yep, in my white tee. Yeah, call up Mike Williams for the hype, please. Nigga, I'm white you before you wipe me. My boxes of checks, not my Nikes. Cactus, not no iced tea. Got them bamboozled like I'm Spike Lee. You need more than Google just to find me. I just call a beta, get a hyphy.
Incredible, general.
I just got the label just to sign me. Me and Chase connected like we signed.
EA, what are these Madden rankings here? I'm not even going to debate the top few with Mahomes and Burrow and Allen, but what is this that you have Justin Herbert and Dak Prescott both tied for 6th place, and somehow Aaron Rodgers is underneath Dak Prescott? If you want to say Justin Herbert is better than Aaron Rodgers, sure. But who in their right mind, who outside of the city of Dallas is taking Dak Prescott over Aaron Rodgers right now? EA, what is this, man? Who is going to win the AFC East this year? Now, I personally think this is going to be the most entertaining division out of them all in the NFL this season. But do you think it's going to be Bills Mafia coming out the AFC East? Is it going to be my New England Patriots, which is the correct answer in case you didn't know? Is it going to be the New York Jets, Jets? No, it's not going to be them. Or is it going to be Nestor's Dolphins? Comment below who's coming out the AFC East in 2023 and 2024. We're talking about this on the next episode of the podcast, which is tomorrow night. So let us know, and we will be discussing it tomorrow.
All right, AFR Nation, let's talk about my favorite thing that has happened in free agency so far. Baker fucking Mayfield going to the Bucks. Baker ball, baby. I cannot wait to hear the Champa Bay fans turn into Champa Bay fans. Going from Tom Brady to Baker Mayfield. I think they're only winning 3 or 4 games. They'll probably beat the Texans, maybe steal one from the Saints, maybe steal one from Carolina, hell, maybe take 2 from Carolina, I don't know. 4 games at best. But here's my question. How many wins do you think the 2023 Bucks are going to get riding with Baker ball? Let us know in the comments.
I'm going to start it off at the point position, put Luka. Then in the shooting guard position, I'm going to go ahead and put Steph.
LeBron at that wonderful power forward position. I kind of up in the air pick is going to be Clay at the other forward position. Very iffy pick. And then, of course, I got to put the Joker there at the big man position. Fade's going to be in a wonderful all-star pick. Clay being that sketchy kind of dark horse role, but I think the team will get it done perfectly.
I got sided with the East, because not only are they better, but Shaq's head sets in the West, so I'm running down the East for you. This is my starting five for the East if they were healthy and if there's the East roster. Trae Young at 1. Can't go wrong with that Bulldog. Durant at 2. Hurt now, but if he was healthy, he'd be starting. We're going to go ahead and have Tatum at 3. Going to have Tatum at 3 because we're putting the Greek Freak at 4. You can't move Giannis. And then we're going to finish it off with Embiid at 5. And the reason why is because he's going to break down the Joker's rashy ass like he did last week in the All-Star game. So that's my 5. Shaq's head is setting in the West. I'll give you his rundown later. You tell us who your starting 5 for the West and East would be.
Remember to follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at AFR Sports. That's at AFR Sports. Now back to the show with your hosts Jalen, Shaquille, and Malin.
Coming on back, people.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Your favorite show. Yes. We were just having a nice little conversation about the human body and folks that well, you know, some people, you know, carry themselves in a different fashion.
Large and bananas and fruits. Units. We talked about units.
All of those things.
We'll talk about it. Well, what's up with that too?
Yes.
Dancers are athletes, right?
Yeah, I think you would say that. You know, we're active people. Let's get into the community comments, and we are going to start off.
Didn't even do a cheers yet. We didn't even do this on the first day.
Yeah, we didn't cheers. Let's correct that. Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Gentlemen
Cheers.
at home.
We got
shout out to BBC, British Beer Company.
That's Brokeback Cowboy beer.
I don't know where that beer is brewed, but it's not.
Jalen almost just spit out his beer.
Maybe Bogota Beer Company. We're just calling ourselves British.
Bogota.
Probably some county in Sarasota, or I don't know.
I'm gonna bring Sarasota into this shit.
Like Brandon. Probably Brandon
Beer Company.
Oh, there
that
you
makes
go.
more sense. Maybe more Plant City. Bunch of meth heads.
All right.
Some IT person for my job, like just staring intently into our live, like just keeping tabs on me. Brandon, Sarasota, or Bogota?
Let's do who's gonna win the NFC East. So what you guys said, there was only a couple of you guys that weighed in here, but Jeremy S says that no one can say who is winning the NFC East. It's a crapshoot every year. Jeremy, you're not wrong. Except last year was actually sort of good last year.
Still a bitch ass comment though.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's really not a crapshoot. I mean, Dallas has won it a couple of years because they were just a more together team than the others, and Philadelphia's won it. And Philadelphia is the better team. It's not a crapshoot, dude.
Last week we were ragging on people because they were saying two teams. They were like this team or another team, and now this guy's a crapshoot. Anybody can do it. Washington can do it.
Malin has some intense beef with these neutral ass comments. Well, it could be the Cowboys. It could be
man,
the Giants. It could be
just have a goddamn opinion.
The Commanders could win. I don't know. It's a crapshoot.
Like
it's not a crapshoot.
This is how these people get elected president. Is all I'm saying. Is that nobody cares and then we get
And
who
this is what
we've
we're left
gotten,
with. Right.
and then we want to complain. Like, no, fucking vote. Have an opinion. Jesus.
Wyatt says, well, first of all, someone who did have an opinion, Nestor said the Eagles.
Of course.
Just putting that out there.
I love how Nestor comments on all your things.
He's our biggest fan.
Beautiful.
Wyatt says, I'm not a Dallas fan, but Kellen Moore leaving isn't going to really do anything.
First of all, if your name is Wyatt, you're a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, you are.
Wyatt Sullivan.
You might miss the Tony Romo days, but Wyatt is a Cowboys fan.
Yeah. Wyatt, it's hard for you to argue against that, but
I love it. Crap shoot.
So yeah, there's that. The next one was the poll for should Saquon Barkley have requested, or should Jonathan Taylor have requested a trade? 75% of you guys said yes. 25% said no. So there was 50 yeses, 17 no's. Clearly the people are on Jonathan Taylor's side.
I mean, unless Irsay's going to share the coke, get out of town.
Yeah, not much reason to stick around. I would love to hear the argument for those 17 people that said no.
They live in Indianapolis.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
And they're pissed off that Andrew Luck retired and Peyton Manning won the Super Bowl with the goddamn Broncos.
Let me see your license. Where do you live?
Indiana. First of all, if you live in Indiana and you have a driver's license, why haven't you left yet? Why?
It's a good question.
Why are you still there? You can operate an automobile. Move somewhere. What the fuck are you doing?
And the problem is they can operate an automobile, but they're stick shifts and they have no effing clue what those sticks are for.
Probably so goddamn poor because of the goddamn economy. They can't afford the gas. I don't know. It's Indianapolis, people. Who chooses to live in these places? It's like Detroit has lost 65% of its population since 1975. There's a reason for it. Everyone decided, why the fuck are we living here? What are we doing? Indianapolis,
Detroit.
Cleveland,
Right.
Indianapolis, all these people in the
Yeah.
Midwest. It's cold as shit.
Right.
Everything's dirty. Your infrastructure sucks. Why?
Could be worse. To live in Ohio or Tempe.
Let's
Arizona.
talk about Ohio. No, we don't got time to
talk about Ohio.
We could,
Jesus Christ.
though. Ohio State.
Oh, Lord.
With the
mercy.
Ohio State University. Shut the fuck up.
That's their claim to fame.
I've
their
never
school.
met so many people so proud of the word "the"
Yeah.
in my life. Like,
Oh,
did
my
you like
goodness.
everyone learns that word in kindergarten? Yet you're so fucking proud over that in a Buckeye that no one knows what the fuck it is you're talking about.
I
It's
think
funny
Messi
you
just
say
got a
that.
concussion.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
We were in Disney a
How
couple.
the hell is that?
Last time we were in Disney, I literally heard somebody getting into an actual argument because someone said Ohio State, and a woman corrected him and said the Ohio
See,
State.
that's what I'm talking about.
An actual argument.
That's all you have to be proud of is the word "the" or "the."
Unbelievable.
However you want to say it, that's your claim to fame.
Right.
That's all you got.
Oh, Ohio. So,
They got what? Brutus, the horseshoe, and a
Wild.
Buckeye. Put all four of those together. None of it makes any fucking sense. And then they got Justin Fields
yes.
and
Yes,
C.J.
they
Stroud.
do.
Shut up.
Top 5 running backs.
God, there's a reason why they call these places flyover states. No one wants to fucking
the last time
land
they
there.
won a national championship was what, 2014?
Yeah.
Look, Urban Meyer,
Yeah.
or he left to go do TV because a lot of scandals were breaking.
I mean,
It's like you either win the Big Ten or you come in second. You go in the college playoffs and you lose. You know, Alabama beats you, LSU beats you, freaking Clemson beats you, hell, Oklahoma beats you.
Well,
I mean,
Shut
they're
the
like
fuck up.
they're like
And
the
now
Oregon of
USC
the Big
and
Ten.
UCLA joining.
yes. Yes.
And then people are saying, "Oh, just wait, you're going to be playing in the snow, USC." You don't think USC didn't go up to Wazoo in freaking November and play in the snow? Guys are crackheads. You know,
Jim
maybe
Harbaugh
meth is
just beat
just
them.
that cheap in Ohio that they're all doing it, because that's just insane to think. Oh, well, you guys are from Southern California. You're not used to playing in the snow. You don't know what snow is. Yeah, they played in Washington State with snow. They know what it is. They played up against the Huskies when we had snow. And they know what snow is.
Yeah. Hate that fucking place.
Yes, and their finest quarterback, Justin Fields. We were talking about this last week.
There we go. Good segue.
The fact that he put himself in the top 5 running back or top 5 running quarterbacks of all time. The people on the internet disagreed with us.
Yeah, because they're probably from Ohio State.
Solo says,
Oh, they're Houston fans, right?
JF1 is top 5. First of all, he said, y'all smoking eggplant emoji. JF1 is top 5.
That's not an eggplant. He means dick.
I'm just pronouncing what he typed.
Okay.
If you want to.
What's his name?
Solo.
Solo? Okay, well, he does a lot of things solo in life, so he can kiss my ass.
JC.
That man out there buying stock in socks with his solo ass. Thinking Justin Fields is top 5.
JCBGN69. Lamar is the best mobile quarterback. Mike Vick was just the first to do it.
He would. Okay, no history. These young bloods, they ain't got nothing.
I mean,
the first to do it.
Probably, you know, if you look at Lamar, I mean, first 4 games last season before he got injured, 5 games, he was averaging 300 yards passing and 100 yards rushing. So, I mean, you could make a case for that.
Right.
You definitely could make a case.
I'm just upset saying that Michael Vick was the first to do it.
It's not quite.
No,
I know us white people aren't as athletic, but Tarkenton and Young were doing it back in the day, and then he's a Randall Cunningham, baby.
Well, okay.
And Russell Wilson is half white.
So,
right.
Tarkenton, you know, I mean, Tarkenton didn't run all the. Tarkenton was more of a scrambler than a designed runner. I mean, and Steve Young, the same thing. They didn't design runs for Steve Young. So when protection broke down, and he ran his fat ass, white ass down the field, bumbling, stumbling into the end zone.
I mean, we're not talking about Dante Culpepper here. We ain't gotta say the word fat.
Come on now.
Loading.
If you remember that 49ers run where he ran for like 80-some yards for a touchdown, he was bumbling, stumbling, and it's a wonder that he didn't just fall over and then die.
Okay, so what did Loading say?
Loading says he is one of 3 players ever to get 1,000 rushing yards as a quarterback and had more than Vic.
In a season?
I believe that.
Okay, well, when you can't complete a pass and all you can do is run.
Someone else with a random username.
I think Nessie gets a kick out of me getting pissed off at these people.
Yeah. He almost broke the season record for rushing yards by a quarterback and broke the regular season game rushing record. He's closer than y'all say.
With an extra game.
Right, that is true.
He almost broke it with a whole other 4 quarters.
That's a very good point.
Let's stop.
I think we should take that in consideration. Austin P., he literally broke records. Only 3 quarterbacks have ever ran for 1,000 yards, and he one of them.
Okay.
What y'all on? Austin P.
So what? Okay, Austin P. Okay, we're just gonna call you Peacock for short because you out there fronting, strutting, your little feathers. What record did he break? 1 of 3. That means 2 other people did it before him. Did he break the record for most yards? Do we have a definition, or are you just like Buckeye Nation? You're hung up on the word "the." What record? What record did he break?
I don't know. Records,
yeah, multiple.
Right.
All I heard him say was "bitch got bronze." What do we?
Yeah, I don't. I didn't know there was this many Justin Fields apologists out there, but
This is gonna predispose us against Justin Fields.
Yeah,
I'm already predisposed against Justin Fields.
Junebug though, he came through and just said,
Okay,
"No way."
Junebug.
He said,
Damn
no
right,
way.
Junebug.
There he
There you
is.
go.
Yeah.
That's a little golf.
I'm
clap,
talking
Junebug.
about.
That's
golf lab. We just
full applause.
get that shit. Junebug out there. Justin Fields. What did he?
I don't know. Hey man, that's TikTok for you though. That's
Did he? What was his QBR? Anybody
Yeah.
know his QBR?
Goddamn 12-year-olds.
What is his QBR? They're probably as old as you, Nestor. Shut up. This is your generation of people out here talking about sports.
Hey, we got Junebug there.
Yeah, the old head over there,
Right.
agreeing with us.
Right.
The other people breaking records, being the third to do it. They don't even understand fucking basic math.
There was one on YouTube here. Let me just check it real quick. Oh, that's not what I was looking for. Comment.
They did a TikTok dance while commenting that. All those comments.
They were doing a dance.
This type of shit that just makes me angry.
I can't see what the comments say apparently,
me.
but it's someone else agreeing with the TikTok community.
These people get me all worked up. Goddamn keyboard warriors. 42 years old, my blood pressure can't take this shit. God.
Yeah, we will move on from the community comments. So, folks, follow us at AFR Sports right above us there.
Say something halfway intelligent, though, if you do. Please.
We will talk about you next week, so make sure you do that. Moving on to the last.
Exactly.
Right. Last topic of the week here, we have What's Up With That? And that is where we air out our grievances with the world of sports in the past 7 days. There's always something bothering us, except Nestor, of course.
Well, something should be bothering him.
Yeah, you would think so.
Suck.
We all have something that upsets us in the world of sports. And I will just air mine out real quick. I've never understood why people do their fantasy drafts this early in the year.
Makes no damn sense.
They're a cheater.
There are people that just jump out and are like, August 1st, all right, we're drafting. It's like, we have all of these injuries that unfold. Why are you drafting right now? Right. I mean, I always thought, like, wait until almost the last possible, weekend before, or maybe,
weekend before the start of the season.
Right. As long as you possibly can. But there's people that draft now, and I just have never understood that. I'll listen to people like channels that only talk about fantasy football, and they're already like running drafts with like money on the line, and I'm just like,
I've seen them.
I don't understand this at all. If you're
There's
putting
a
money
channel
down,
called Headliners.
yeah, I've seen Headliners. It's like, if you're that serious, what are you doing? I don't.
Maybe they're in so many leagues they don't have enough
time.
time.
Yeah,
they got to spread it out.
maybe.
They sell a guide for like $20.
Yeah,
Headliners.
yeah, they do. If you want to sign up for their
So they sell
premium a guide.
Guide.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guide.
Enunciate that D. I was like, well, we got the.
What?
But that's my What's Up With That is fantasy football league starting in August. Strange. Would you like to go next, Malin?
I'm gonna go ahead and kick it to Nestor because he has to ask something. I'm still debating on just
You guys are trying to save the best for
what I
last,
want to do. I'm old. There's a lot of things that I'm gonna get off my lawn, guys. I don't even have a lawn.
Mine,
That's fair.
Mine is quick because I feel like it's all accumulating for
Finally have one.
week 2, week 3 of the season. So, I have no, shit happens. Little meniscus injury, that's fine. It happens. Dalvin Cook wants to go to the Jets. I can't be mad. They're trying to build something over there. Whatever. I hate the Jets, but it is what it is.
He apparently actually said they're a train wreck. Just saying.
I'm optimistic about my Dolphins still, even though we have a really hard schedule. But what I actually have beef with, I started paying attention to the Women's World Cup.
Oh boy. Why do we keep finding
this is third rail? I wasn't going to say it. Because, no, hold on. Before you go any further, I just want to point out that the last time we talked about the women's national team, Gary and I went back and forth for 35 minutes, and we ended up, I think, with the 1972 Soviet Union men's basketball team winning the gold. So I just want to let you know, like, Nestor, we're going to be in it for the long haul. You bring this up.
Any team that celebrates and dances after a draw, you don't deserve to win shit.
Okay.
You don't deserve to win anything. I don't care about the history. It doesn't matter. You're celebrating. Even more reason not to celebrate a draw, because your expectations should be high. Not the fans, your team, individuals. Your expectations should be high. So if you're celebrating a draw, that means that hopefully next game you lose it. And Sweden, as I've heard, is not a bad team. They're pretty good.
No, they're actually their rival.
For people that they're asking for like, I don't know, bonuses you could say, because
okay.
I don't know. You can't just ask for money that's just you're not really.
The moment that I thought that there's no way we get till 11:30 tonight, and then this man brings this up, because G Money and I talked about this for like 90 minutes last night.
Scored, by the way.
About
I think Messi just scored.
About how much money the women make and the men make, and all of this is great. I am here for it. You just stuck your head into the alligator pond. That's awesome.
How are you gonna ask for money that's not yours?
Well,
how am I gonna ask for what? I get paid this amount of money. Let me get paid. Hey, boss, can you give me $200K? Because you get paid $200K. Let me get paid $200K. Like what? You don't bring in that amount of.
Okay.
That's a lot of dancing and a lot of draws for a team that just doesn't.
When he says draws, he's not talking about underwear. I just want to make sure people understand that. We're not talking about underwear. We're not talking about the whitey tighties.
Celebrations.
We're talking about 0-0s, because
I was going to say something, but
soccer is like one of the only. Soccer in 0-0 a lot.
Maybe they would bring in more. Never mind.
G Money. The floor is yours to respond on this topic, sir, and don't hold back, because you didn't hold back against me last night. You laid into me like Ursay on that coke on that woman's ass. So
that's right.
Is that fair?
And I wasn't even doing that. Fair. So basically, up until this World Cup, the women's team, U.S. team, had outperformed the men's team immensely. I mean, even in South Africa, when the U.S. team was ranked, I want to say they were like 14th in the world, and they performed poorly. I mean, for a team that's ranked as high as it was in the world, to just basically suck, unsatisfactory. So what the women did, and they basically what they demanded was to be paid the same as the men. Because they said, look at our records, look what we did. Look, we deserve that. And the U.S. Said, yeah, okay, we'll give you what the men get, which is basically $10K a match. And if you go further, if you advance, you get more money. So I don't have a problem with that. In fact, they deserve that. Now, do they suck right now? Yeah, they do. They are not playing up to their capabilities. And here's the thing, they will probably get beat by Sweden because they are not playing up to their capabilities. And chances are what'll happen is when they lose to Sweden, that coach is going to get fired. That team's just going to get what it got, which was $10K for each one of the games it played in the opening. And then I think they get $20K for that game. So really, and that's per player. That's not a lot of money when you stop and think about it. I mean, it is to them because I don't know what they make professionally. I don't think it's a shitload of money, really. I'd have to look at it, see what it averaged out to be. But yeah, do they deserve that? Yeah, based on their history, yeah, they do deserve that, because when you do a contract with any professional player, you base it on what they've done previously for the most part. So if you're going to pay Jaylen Brown $310 million, it's because what he did in the past, you expect that to carry on and to him to get better. So what the U.S. and FIFA did was agree to pay, and it's not just the U.S. team, by the way. They're paying all the teams this. It's the same as what the men got paid, which really, when you look at it, Malin and I would discuss this ad nauseum last night.
So
FIFA brought in close to $9 billion the last men's World Cup, and
766
$400 million.
Yes.
So I mean, FIFA. And I tell them, FIFA's a bunch of crooks.
They are.
They're like the mafia. Yes. Only they have a better way of hiding their money.
Now I will. Well, hold on, Nestor. I will say that first of all, Gary, you're being a lot nicer to Nestor than you were to me. Your tone of voice is softer. You don't sound as agitated. I was looking for a little bit more fire. Now this is how I'm going to bring the fire, because this is what I said last night, and this is what really set him off. Is that I said, listen, okay, so we're talking about men and women being paid the same. We're doing the same thing, right?
Right.
So this is what really got Gary's V8 going. He just was I was like, that's like saying the Lakers are bad for like 10 years, but the LA Spark win like 4 or 5 titles in the WNBA. And then all of a sudden we're like, the Spark should make the same amount of money as be playing for the Lakers. You're subsidized. You're making money off of what the NBA makes. Now, Gary did make the point. Gary, I'm going to go ahead and tell your point so you don't have to say it. He did say we're talking about a professional league, not a national team. Okay, so I get it. So then I brought up men's and women's basketball. Who deserves to get paid more? Men's basketball, women's basketball. Do they deserve to get paid the same? The only reason why the women's national team deserves to get paid the same in this argument is because they're doing better than the men's team. But now they're playing just as bad as the men's team. So if they get their ass kicked by Sweden, do they get a pay cut? Or are we still talking about equality? I'm just wondering. And they're not underperforming with talent, because let's not forget they got 14 new people on this national team. They can't even field a starting 11 with the same starting 11 that they had back in 2019. They got 14 new people that have never played in the World Cup. And Carly Lloyd came out and said that they look like they are not conditioned for this World Cup. She said they look out of shape.
Well,
so that's an indictment on the coach.
Yeah.
So if they lose to Sweden, they get bounced like the U.S. team did. I don't know. You're not doing better than the men's team
right
anymore.
I just want to say a quick thing. Imagine putting the women's soccer team against prime Netherlands. It would be 20-0.
Okay, well,
if the level of competitiveness of men's football.
But if you put the men's national team against the women's national team, the men would probably spank the floor over the women's national team, because the women's national team did lose to a men's high school soccer team in Texas. It's not about men versus women. Like the argument that I always make is it's who brings in the money. It's not about how good you are. Do you bring in the money?
Right.
And the men's side of football brings in more money than women.
Right.
But the women have had an argument over the fact that, hey, we're dominating. But what happens when they don't dominate?
Right.
But the defense is horrible.
Well, this year, but they've won 2 in a row.
No, I mean, in general, defense in women's football is just atrocious.
Well, hold on. I will say this. I actually do think that the women's game is more fun to watch than the men's game. I will say that. No, it's not more goals, and it's not because of the defense. It's because you have less people flopping around like a fucking fish. You have less flopping.
I mean,
less LeBron James out there. Neymar rolling 15 feet.
When someone gets tackled, You don't see them laying on the ground, grabbing their knee or their ankle, screaming in pain like someone just freaking amputated it.
Like
No,
they
lay there
act
for like
tougher
10
than
seconds,
the
go,
men.
okay, I'm going to go play.
So
The
much
men,
less flopping.
You freaking breathe on
It's
them.
more fluid.
They fall down. They scream. What they want is a penalty, and they lay there and cry until they get one. I mean, no.
The defense is way more tight.
Like,
The game is less fluid. Yeah, tight because they're getting in the ass. The game is more fluid on the women's side. You get so much flopping that stops the pace of play on the men's side. Like when I was watching the men's World Cup in December or whatever, like November, December, I was like, it's like every 3 minute whistle.
Yep.
And like you lose the fluidness of it. And it's become accepted on the men's side that if you flop, somebody get a card.
Eventually, you get a card.
But the women do act tougher.
Yeah,
they get hurt. They lay there for a couple seconds. They get back up, and they're still in there.
Yeah.
I was the same situation with the WNBA. Like, I can almost guarantee it. I don't watch it because I don't have time. But
I ain't gonna comment on it.
No, but you're right.
It probably
You don't see the flopping like you do in the NBA, and that's sad because really, those games could be so much better if you don't flop because you're expecting a card or you want a card. Yeah, especially when you flop around the goal. Yeah, you start flopping there because you want that card because you want penalty kick. Why? Because their defense is pretty fucking stout, and you can't score. So hey, give me a penalty. They took me down. No, you fell down. Get the hell up and try and score. And that's the issue I have with men's football. I really do. It's that they flop way too much. And quite frankly, if FIFA or even the leagues wanted to change that, they could start giving out red cards. You want to flop? Actually, how I would handle it is like, okay, you're laying on the ground. You're going to be there for like 3 minutes holding your knee. You're substituted because obviously you're injured and you can't play. Let's see how long people keep doing that. I'll substitute your ass out and you won't play for the rest of the game.
I love how reserved G Money is on this show because if it was just him and I talking, I'm just outside having a cigar. He'd be like, "No, you fell down, you dumb fuck." Like that's what. That's how G Money would have explained it to me if him and I were just FaceTiming. He's being a little bit more reserved than normal. He's pulling back a little bit. He's pulling back like Carly Lloyd.
Is I played the game, and it's like. Before they pretty much outlawed the sliding tackle, right? We used to use that a lot. Yeah, and basically, if you're smart, you take the ball out, right? You take the ball, and as long as you don't take the feet or up above, take the cap or something. If it's all ball and they trip, it's their own damn fault because they're stupid and clumsy. But now you can't do that. That tackle has pretty much been outlawed. You do a sliding tackle as a fullback to when you've got a striker that's going past you or coming up to you and you want to get that ball, you can't do that. And if you do, you'll get a card. And I guarantee you that striker is going to be whining and crying, holding his ankle, holding his calf, holding his knee, like you just freaking hit him with a sledgehammer. I mean, it's just gotten ridiculous how they play the game.
I blame Neymar.
Well, I have a feeling that we're going to be talking about this next Wednesday because they play Sweden on Sunday.
Yeah.
And they've played 3 matches and they scored 3 goals in the first game.
For the third week in a row.
And they haven't scored anything since then.
Yep. So
a 0-0 tie with Portugal and a 0-0 tie with the Netherlands. Yeah, no, they don't look good. And they should probably bench a few of their players.
Bench them all.
And reshuffle their starting lineup. That's what they should do. Is that what they're going to do? No. So chances are they'll end up losing to Sweden, come back to the States, full of excuses, that coach gets fired.
So is that your what's up with that, Gary, or do you have another what's up with that?
No.
Because Nestor got you going.
No.
He revved that engine.
No, Nestor got me going. But no, so my what's up with that, right? So earlier in the week, you had NFL running backs get together, kind of complain how they're not getting the contracts they should. As we all know, Josh Jacobs turned down the tag, hasn't signed. Tony Pollard the same way. We already talked about Jonathan Taylor requesting a trade. I'm like, guys, read the fucking room. You're not getting that money. You're not getting the money you think you deserve. And the reason is this. You're not the main piece on the offense anymore, and you haven't been for quite some time. Here's a question for you guys. I'm going to throw this out to you, right? It's a three-parter, right?
Okay.
Name the last player to rush for 1,000 yards and win the Super Bowl in the same season. Tell me the player, the year, and the team he played for.
Okay, wait a minute. 1,000 yards, won the Super
1,000
Bowl.
yards and won the Super Bowl in the same season.
In the same season.
The same season.
I know I can go as far as Marshall Faulk in 99. Right? Wait, did you say MVP?
Go ahead.
Wait, what?
No, I didn't say MVP.
Okay. You said
I
they ran for 1,000.
Name me the last player, the last running back
Okay.
to run for 1,000 yards and win the Super Bowl in the same season.
Okay, so we can also go to Marshawn Lynch.
Probably on the
Because Marshawn Lynch did it. I don't think any Patriot has. It's Marshawn Lynch, isn't it?
It's gotta be. No way since then.
Is that a question?
No, that's my answer. Marshawn Lynch.
Final answer.
It's Marshawn Lynch.
No, you're wrong.
God damn it.
No, you're wrong.
Who since then?
Was a Patriot. 2016.
Oh, fucking
LeGarrette Blount.
Oh,
Blunt.
Blunt did it.
He
Jesus.
ran for like 1,100 and some
I
yards.
fucking hate
and then
you,
won the
Jalen.
Super Bowl. So here's another one. Here's another one for you, right? Quarterbacks, running backs won all this money.
Here we go.
Name the last running back to win the rushing title and win a Super Bowl.
Shit. That would be Terrell Davis.
You're absolutely right.
God damn.
Yeah.
Right.
Last one. So
All these fucking TikToks kiss my
the running
ass.
back position is not valued like it once was. It's not. Guys, freaking, you've got two choices. You can, well, now it's too late. You can't sign the tender because it's not there anymore. Maybe you make a deal with the teams. But if you sit out, it's not like next year someone's going to offer you $25 million for 2 years. It's not going to happen. They're going to draft someone in the 6th, 7th round who's going to run for 1,000 yards.
Yeah. The only thing
you got to read the room.
The only thing out of the three you mentioned, which was Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, and Pollard, right, is that yes, in the rest of the NFL, the best player on the team is not the running back. But the Raiders and the Colts are so inept as an organization that they can't get a quarterback. They can't get wide receivers. When they get a good quarterback like the Raiders, they get rid of him. The Colts get rid of someone like Peyton Manning. They make someone like Luck retire. Jonathan Taylor and Josh Jacobs are the only two players in the entire NFL that I would argue like bitch, I am the focal point of and I'm not getting paid. The only other one outside of them is Derrick Henry, because is Tannehill gonna take you to the playoffs? Those are the only three players in all three of them, because of the teams they're on.
Yeah.
Because of the way that they play, they're like, nah, man, like, I am him. Like, I am the best player on the team. But at the same time, G Money's right. He's like, but the other 28 clubs have devalued the position so much, and it's not our fault that you work for bitch-ass organizations. Like, that's your fault.
Here's this, right? So look at the two running backs that signed multi-year contracts. And what happened? Todd Gurley, right? After the Super Bowl, signed that $60 million 4-year deal. After 2 years, he was gone.
Yep.
Our good friend Ezekiel Elliott. Obviously, Jerry Jones was up till 3 or 4 in the morning doing vodka shots, and thought it was a good deal, a good thing to sign Ezekiel to that contract. And what happened? His performance fell. So owners look at this, and afterwards, the owner's money. They give a rat's ass what the coach says. They look at it and go like, do I want to pay Jonathan Taylor $15 million a year for 4 more years? Or do I want to pay Josh Jacobs $17.5 million for 4 years? And they're like, no, I may suck this year, and that's fine. I'll get a running back next year. I'll draft him in the 3rd or 4th round. I mean, Jonathan Taylor was a 2nd-round pick. Not quite sure where Josh Jacobs was drafted.
Didn't Aaron Jones get hurt after he got his contract with the Packers?
Oh, I think he did.
Derrick Henry got hurt last year. Derrick Henry got hurt.
Yeah, Derrick Henry got hurt.
He didn't play last year.
Right. Yeah.
Not willing to spend that type of money, because the money now goes to the quarterback, right?
Offensive line.
The wide receiver, the left tackle, defensive end. Yeah, that's where all your money's tied up at. If you look at any of these teams now, you look at where they're at salary cap wise, their money's either tied up in the quarterback or the wide receivers or the D end or left tackle or a combination of them. And so there isn't any money for the running backs. I mean, this isn't the 70s and the 80s where running backs were a premium, even the mid 90s, where the running back was the man. And you got that second contract, and it was a big contract. You just don't see that anymore.
I think
and
Pollard is the
running
dumbest
backs,
one.
read the room. Yeah, if you're going to sit out and not sign that tender, fine, but you're not going to make that money back. And they should look at Le'Veon Bell, who didn't sign with the Steelers and sat out 1 year and signed I want to say it was like a $56 million contract with the Jets, and lasted 2 years, and really didn't perform those 2 years that he played either.
Yeah, I think Pollard is probably the most tone deaf out of all of them. You go from being the backup, beginning franchise tag, and you're like, nah, man,
right?
Give me more. I'm like, okay, Pollard, let's settle down.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. Like,
anyways,
read the damn room. What is your what's up with that?
Ready for this? All right, so we're going to go a little bit of a stretch here, which is something that one of these people has never done in their life, is stretching. And we're going to talk about dancers being athletes. And so what we're going to talk about is there's a certain somebody, not going to call him fat, not going to call him big boned, might call him pudgy boned. I'm not calling him big boned. But somebody by the name of Lizzo,
right,
who is celebrated for body positivity. Remember that, body positivity.
Right.
2 words that could mean 1 word, meaning obese. But let's double it up on words to come up with one definition. Is getting sued. Lizzo is getting sued. The same one that nobody on the planet Earth ever wanted to see in lingerie, but yet we've all been subjected to it at any point in time. If you've ever turned on the TV or are part of any type of social media, you have seen things.
Right.
That, if a walrus wore clothing, you're like, all right, we got some dress up days. That's cool. But the same person is being sued for fat shaming her backup dancers. Do we need to go back to body positivity?
Right.
Fat shaming. Not only that, forcing her backup dancers to perform lewd, crude sexual acts touching naked people, throwing of dildos on people's faces. Okay. All kinds of weird shit. You guys need to look this up. Lizzo is a freak, and I'm not even talking about the body size at this point. She put Shaq's head to shame at this point. If she sat on Shaq, we never see him again. Like, and that's saying something. That'd be like looking up in the sky, be like, where the fuck did the moon go? How the fuck we get rid of the moon? Well, Lizzo sat down. Like, I don't know what the fuck you want. But it's not body shaming. It's like, I want you to live longer. Like, at some point, you need to put down the fork.
Right. Yeah.
Like, eat a yogurt instead of like a bacon cheeseburger. Like, I don't know what to tell you. If you want to live large and in charge, then do it that way. But you're going to have a short reign. But I just think it's crazy that the body positivity movement is now being sued for treating people like shit and body shaming them.
Yeah, Lizzo's one of those interesting cases.
Interesting? Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with her.
Yeah, kidding.
First of all, thanks for ruining The Mandalorian, because as soon as she appeared in that show, I stopped watching it. Second of all, though,
like another planet.
You're right.
I was like, I thought we did the 2 sun thing. Episode 3 of Tatooine.
Right. Yeah, but she has also been known for just saying some kind of outlandish shit when it comes to like things that she would like to do to other celebrities, and people are like, we don't want to hear that. Please shut up. But yeah, the fact that she's like, you know, the poster child for the body positivity stuff, and I agree 1,000%. I think sometimes it borders on the, are we body positive or are we just straight up just unhealthy at this point? Because it kind of teeters at times.
I mean,
it's impossible to be Lizzo.
I don't think
Cut her some slack.
there's.
It's impossible to be her.
Well, I say that to her knees, but the line has been drawn. She's just sitting on it.
There's
no borderline about it. It's not. You're unhealthy at that point.
Right.
Talk to any medical professional. If a medical professional is going to tell me that I am unhealthy at my weight and that I am borderline obese at my weight, okay.
Right.
So should I be happy about that? No,
Right.
I get pissed off. I'm like, I need to cut down the carbs. Maybe I shouldn't drink as much beer. I love bourbon and cigars, though, so that's kind of a problem. And I really like bacon. But there's a point to where you start promoting unhealthiness.
Right.
And that's dangerous.
In complacency.
Yes. And so, I think if you get that big, you're actively becoming that big. I don't think you're complacent at any point. You're just cinnamon buns just coming. Like there's a lot of activity with the fork. But there comes a point to where you're like you're teaching other people to be unhealthy just because you're unhealthy. So you want to talk about body positivity? Body positivity is being healthy. And there are a lot of people that are larger that are healthy.
Right.
But it's because of the body type, not because of the body fat.
Right.
So miss me on that. So you want to go ahead and celebrate obesity, and then you're going to body shame backup dancers?
Right.
Come on. Stop it.
Some people get too big for their own britches.
Bridges, I don't know. Jesus. Just pisses me off.
That was a interesting one there.
So, yeah. Dancers are athletes.
They are. I mean,
I can only say that because
clearly
one of my better friends in life, her name is Brittany, and she was not Lizzo. I ain't got enough room in my life for that. But someone got a major in ballet in USF, and so dancers are athletes.
I mean, they are at the end of the day.
Yeah, she can kick my ass. That's for dancing.
Well, folks, this has been an interesting episode.
It's been a great episode.
Covered a wide spectrum. There's so many puns in here that.
Your son's a running back for the Patriots.
Yeah, also a receiver for the Rams, I think.
Yep. Like I said, word wide.
Right. Anything else you guys want to mention before we get up out of here?
Where the fuck is Shaq? Get on this goddamn show, Shaq.
Yeah. His return is.
I'm thinking about getting a posting. How you put them on milk cartons. Have you seen this person? Well, obviously because Shaq's forehead's so big. I'm thinking more like a 5-gallon drum or something.
Yeah, I was about to say milk only comes in gallon forms. You'd have to be on like one of those milk trucks, the semis. The semis that say got milk on them. Maybe. Otherwise, he'd be out there looking like fucking Cyclops. You only get one eye on there.
Have you seen him? Please contact 1-800-AFR.
Exactly.
Our phones would shut down because there's plenty of people that have seen him. Plenty of people.
They wouldn't be able to use our phone.
It's like UFOs. Everybody thinks they've seen one.
Right, exactly.
I'd get a phone call and it'd be like someone speaking French, and I'm like, motherfucker, he stood up again. He stood up, and somebody in France saw him. God damn.
Come on back, Shaq. We
miss you, man.
The people need you. With that being said, we are going to end the show. Next week we'll be hitting up the AFC North for our record predictions. Just making our way around. It's Shaq's division. It's a perfect time for him to come back.
Maybe we can get Shaq a date with Lizzo.
Don't do that to him.
Call it Sun and the Moon.
This is why you need to come back, Shaq. We will
meets the Milky Way.
We'll talk to you all next week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And have a good week. Peace out.
Peace out. See you guys.
Peace.